Known for their dreamlike imagination, their laid-back nature, and their habit of seeming spaced out due to their deep thinking, INFJs are those type of people that others sometimes question whether or not they are like that due to external influence of their mind. Maybe it's too much mediation. Maybe it's prayer and self-contentment. Or maybe it's just their personalities. Welcome or welcome back, psychos. Before we get into it, we'd love it if you liked and subscribed to our channel, as well as to click the post notification bell so you never miss a video. Alright, let's get right into it. Starting with number 1. They have an unwavering chill to their demeanor. Gentle, courteous, and overall content by nature, INFJs hold a strong aura of calm no matter what situation they find themselves in. Known for their nonchalant approach to both the challenges and wins in life, this personality type can either come across as the calm to the storm or the one who only gives underwhelming deadpan reactions to good news. Either way, the INFJ type is chill to their very core, serving to be one of the very traits of a so-called pothead or even the occasional edible enjoyer. This laxed and unconcerned demeanor can make the INFJ seem like they're just too cool as a cucumber to be living in the same chaotic reality as everyone around them. Luckily, this trait doesn't exactly mean that INFJs are chill to a fault. The perfectionistic organized side to the INFJ helps to balance out this mellow approach to life, allowing them to still set and reach the goals they see themselves attaining in life. Number 2. They're naturally free-spirited. The INFJ personality type makes it to the top few most free-spirited MBTI types. Despite their at times rigidness when it comes to their standards, morals, and beliefs, most people with the INFJ type refuse to follow any sort of rules or regulations that don't have clear reasoning behind them. They use their own judgments over the structures and directions that are pushed upon them by societal organizations. This freethinker attitude not only contributes to them being seen as one who lives on the fringes of society, but it can also make them seem rebellious in the least disruptive way possible. Their authenticity leads the way, and when combined with their carefree independence, INFJs can be considered to be experiencing life on a completely different plane of existence. Consistently trying to find the most appealing and genuine road less traveled, it's fair to say that their disinterest in following societal norms stands out to the people around them, sometimes out of appreciation and sometimes out of disappointment. Number 3. They have a philosophical outlook on life. Known to be one of their more philosophical-driven types, it makes total sense that this esoteric type strives to expand their minds in the most theoretical way possible. INFJs showcase a mix of philosophy-based thinning requirements such as pattern recognition, imagination, and creativity that allow them to form their unique theoretical ideas about life and everything in it. Through their innate curiosity for the meanings behind emotions, societal structures, and creation itself, their wise old perspectives can make them come across as a little hippy-dippy and mystical and foolish in some regards. And while the ones that actually give the INFJ the chance to fully explain their interests and viewpoints usually end up surprised at their brilliancy, the mainstream conformity of most people lead them to believe that INFJs must have dabbled in some sort of psychedelics at one point or another. Number 4. When they're forced to focus outwardly, they can get overly anxious. There's no doubt that despite this ambivert type's ability to approach social situations in a chameleon-like manner, there tends to be an underlying sense of social anxiety and apprehension. This is because due to their heavily relied on introverted functions, sometimes utilizing their secondary extroverted feeling and quaternary extroverted sensing functions can overwhelm them. According to psychologyjunkie.com, when INFJs are forced to focus all their attention outside the intuitive plane, they can come across as stressed and unsteady. Whether this is the requirement of social setting, a job position, or even certain life circumstances that pull on their extroverted functions, INFJs are usually met with a strong need to revert back to their introverted selves. However, this exact need to close themselves off from the world around them, even temporarily, can make others question if they're doing or going through something that they don't want others to know about. Which brings us to our next point. Number 5. They're closed off to new friendships. One of the main characteristics of someone who is abusing mind-altering substances is their self-isolation from the people they once loved and the things they once loved to do. And while most INFJs hold their few enjoyable hobbies and people close to their hearts, they definitely have a unique approach to how they choose to let people and new experiences into their lives. Through their apprehensiveness and natural suspicions that always come out when meeting new people. Sometimes it can come across as paranoia, emotional unavailability, and possibly a deeper internal struggle that they refuse to open up about. Ironically, these very suspicions INFJs bring to the table end up triggering other people to become rather suspicious about them and their self-containedness. Especially in the eyes of those who are naturally more extroverted and willing to open up about others. INFJs give the impression that there's something going on with them that's causing their reluctance. Number 6. Their thoughts can become uncontrollably sporadic. The combination of introverted intuition and introverted thinking can make for an interesting experience for each INFJ in different ways. Serving this personality type with cognitive abilities that others could only dream of, there comes a point where the capacity to dive into any topic with no destination in mind can result in some seriously interesting findings. And while some people can learn to appreciate these taboo, aimless, and at times totally pointless observations, they can also make the INFJ seem rather loopy and even out of touch with reality. To save others' judgments, this reserved personality type usually keeps the most absurd findings to themselves. However, in the process of jumping from one train of thought to the next, through conversations with others and sometimes not being able to trace back their steps to their original point, it's fair to say that this habit can fog their ability to communicate their true intelligence. Number 7. They're notorious for zoning out. Speaking of the INFJ's sporadic thoughts, sometimes they can take a serious toll on their attention span. In fact, one of the INFJ's most repetitive and difficult challenges in life is practicing their ability to stay present. Sure, they have uncanny observation skills when needed. However, when it comes to repetitive tasks, surface-level small talk, and topics that bore them, the INFJ can easily slip into their inner world to escape it all. Most times, this notorious habit goes unnoticed. Yet, when someone should realize that the INFJ isn't quite as perceptive as expected for their analytical character, it can make them seem a little dazed and confused. When this type is busy in their own inner world, they have the habit of staring right through people, things, and their own autopilot functions. With a glazed over look in their eyes, they're often judged as being aloof, disengaged, or even rude, with some people even questioning if they're on something. And lastly, number 8. They see things for what they mean rather than what they are. If there's one thing that good old Mary Jane, for lack of a better slang, is known for, it's the ability to alter one's perceptions, moods, thinking patterns, and cognition. Depending on the user, some people claim its effects take shape in positive ways, allowing them to temporarily leave behind useless worries and expand their minds into unlocking different possibilities and outlooks on life. It allows for a greater ability to peer through what's on the surface and instead find the deeper essences and core truths of things. This is exactly what it's like to have introverted intuition as an INFJ, or at least a great part of it. Rooted once again in the INFJ's philosophical-like lenses, this personality type has an uncanny ability to see through people, situations, and words to find hidden meanings, motives, and outcomes. What's found on the surface is taken very lightly in the eyes of an INFJ, leaving them to only form judgments once deeper validity reveals itself. Well, psychos, that's it for today. So, let us know in the comments below if you'd agree that most INFJs could come across as the hippy-dippy stoner type in the best way possible. Also, make sure to leave us a like, share with your friends, and also subscribe to our channel so that you never miss a video.